You beauty, it's Friday morning.
Yes, it is.
Plenty to get excited about this morning as well. One of them being the Quickie.
I know, $800.
$800.
Yeah.
My turn to come up with a
Big jackpot,
topic.
Loz.
I know. I'm nervous.
No pressure.
No, you'll be right, Loz. I'm excited about game day today, Ditch. You excited? Game day?
Port and Geelong.
Yep, I'm looking forward to it. I think some good changes for Port.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in sport, but good game last night too.
Whew.
I just want to. Can I just say, I'm the only one who tipped Carlton.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
have we got something that was said here yesterday or not? No, we'll get to it later
We'll get
on.
to it later.
The first time I said that I've trusted Roo in 15 years.
know.
And it bit me on the
well.
bum. Anyway, we'll get back to that.
They played all right, Carlton. I'll give them that. They were surprisingly good for the first time for a while.
All right, Loz's archaeology, because you know she wanted to be an archaeologist, Roo, so archaeology chat. She gets to do it once a week on this show.
Can I just
Just
say
to scratch that itch.
another thing? Can I just say it had to be at 6:20 today because it's slightly frisky. This one.
Was it rude archaeology?
Yeah,
Wow.
it can be saucy archaeology.
X-rated
Two things
archaeology.
Loz wanted to be when she grew up. Archaeology.
X-rated and archaeologist.
I've managed to combine the two this
Gee, you
morning.
can
My
tick
dreams
every
have come
box there.
true.
Now you're making it interesting.
Yeah. All right, we'll listen in today.
Yeah, big show on the way this morning to kick off your Friday. As we head into the weekend, it is headed for a top of 22 today. You're waking up with Roo, Ditz and Loz.
New Hilux in stock with bonus $1,000 accessories at Peter Kittle Toyota.
Get all the news you need.
104.7 Triple M.
Hello, Adelaide.
No one knows Adelaide like these guys. Triple M Breakfast with Roo, Ditz and Loz. Overnight news.
So you might have heard about Troy Smith, the man charged with alleged drug possession. He's over in Bali. He's from Port Lincoln.
Yeah, the Lincoln man, yeah.
Yeah, the Lincoln man. So
Hasn't
Front
lived in
page
Lincoln
of the
for
paper.
8 to 10 years. I
Tell
just
you
want
what,
to
he's
get
a
it
Crows
out there.
man, though. Front page of the paper today, and his
Easy,
Crows
Ditz.
Guernsey.
Yeah.
Easy.
Oh.
We got supporters all over the world.
Yeah.
there
Even
should
in Bali
be,
jails.
there should be rules on when you can and can't wear your Guernsey.
right, I know.
Are you a criminal?
Yeah.
Every
Put your
criminal
Guernsey
that's
on.
been done in the last couple of months has all had a sporting paraphernalia.
I know. It's actually
Bloke at
awful.
Westfield had a rugby top on, didn't he?
Yep, he
In
did.
Sydney?
Yeah. Anyway, carry on.
Anyway.
Loz.
Sorry.
So it all goes back, apparently, the way he was alerted to Balinese police was he was sent a Colgate tube from Perth, and it said it contained, this is what's so weird. They sent him a tube of Colgate, but it said this contains a lubricant, but it actually contained meth. So you got a Colgate
Red flag.
tube,
Yeah.
said it was lubricant, actually meth. What is it?
Like a Russian
And
doll.
he
It
didn't-
is.
Don't brush your teeth with that stuff.
And he knew
I know.
nothing about it.
He had no idea why anyone would ever send him a tube of meth whilst claiming it
But
was
also,
lube.
whether he wants toothpaste or lube, I'm sure you
Yeah.
can buy it down the street for a couple of bucks.
Yeah, if you want toothpaste
I
or lube,
don't need it sent
don't use
from-
meth. I
Yeah,
think that's
no.
so definitely label it.
Yeah. Hey, something bad happening in the UK. We've all been and lived through COVID. Some of us lived through it, some didn't. But 100-day cough, they're calling it, and it's making people very, very ill in the UK. And in fact, the other thing that's happened is whooping cough 3 times. The cases they've got this year for little infants, which is dangerous. So let's
Terrible.
hope this isn't something that's going to spread the world the way the other one did.
No, we don't want that. We don't need any of that sort of
No.
stuff.
No. Hey,
Stuff, yeah.
we try not to talk politics on this show. One good reason, we know nothing about it.
Yeah.
Secondly, no one cares.
Yeah.
But this morning, I do...
But
you're gonna do
sometimes- No, just sometimes you've got to, because I remember, without getting too political, but this government were hammering Scott Morrison about his gas policy and how bad it was, and we've got to shut down gas, and we've got to go green and, carbon neutral. Yesterday, this government, who used to be in opposition whinging about it, have expanded their gas exploration, and we're going to have more gas fields, and this is all about their plan to go carbon neutral by 2050, but in fact, we're actually going to do it by using more gas.
Is it the same plan that Scott Morrison was going to use, or is it?
It's similar, and
Similar.
therefore Chris Bowen, the energy minister that bagged the hell out of him, he's
Yeah.
involved in this one. So now it's a good idea, apparently. Anyway, so we're going to increase our extraction of gas. 27% of our energy at the moment is gas, and it's going to increase. So I just thought I'd point
Well,
that
the
out.
Vics didn't even want to put it in new homes.
No,
Good luck.
but we need it.
Yes, we do. The Donald Trump case is continuing over there with the case about Stormy Daniels and the
Stephanie
hush
Clifford.
money
Yeah.
that happened there. But Stormy's come out overnight and had a chat about Donald and said he wears old man undies.
Don't be rude. No.
Well, he does. He wears old man undies, and that's not surprising.
Him and I might shop at the same place.
Yeah.
3 for $10. That's it.
The white fronts.
What are we talking like? White, the sort of saggy
haven't
white
seen
ones.
them.
The
with
white bloomers.
She didn't bring
Yeah,
photos.
ooh.
She didn't bring photos.
Don't be rude.
No pictures.
Don't be rude. No, I'm not going to give you a question. I'm not going to give you a question.
Exactly.
You are fake news.
I think it would be weird if he wore young man jocks.
Yeah.
It would be really odd to see him in like Bond's briefs. In my opinion, I think sometimes people have
What's
to
the
wear
age? What's the age? Like, I'm 60. What's the age that I can stop wearing?
what?
Now you get away with it because you're a specimen, Ditz.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Right.
Yeah.
If you've been the fittest man in the world, you can wear Bond's jocks.
No, it's kind
to
of
the
like how
grave.
a 80-year-old woman probably wouldn't wear a
G-banger.
honeybird at G-banger. Like it just wouldn't.
Right.
It wouldn't be comfortable, and it would look odd. I mean, not that I want to be ageist or anything, but at a certain age, you kind of you leave those in the drawer.
So
don't
have I got
you?
to use by date with these jocks or not?
Maybe
Nah,
it's
Ditz.
just more comfort. I don't know. It just looks a bit odd. Mutton
Yeah,
dressed as
Well,
lamb.
who's seeing them, for God's sake?
Stormy.
Well, Stormy Daniels.
I hope you'll never go to court with Stormy then.
Rudits and Loz.
Triple M.
You call this archaeology?
I always wanted to be an archaeologist when I was growing up, so going over
amazing.
there and dusting.
Oh,
Don't laugh at that.
Quite seriously, though, Dave.
Don't you dare laugh at that.
I was an archaeologist.
Shut up, you head. I would have been a great archaeologist.
Put on your khaki pants and get out your rock hammers.
Archaeologists have dug up a 5,000-year-old pub in Iraq.
It's time for Archaeology News with Loz.
He's snoring already.
The disrespect.
I know how to wake you up. Dildo.
Excuse me.
They found one, and
Where?
it's
What an ancient one.
an ancient dildo.
No.
Yes.
Where?
That's right.
Bloody
In
hell.
England, actually. So
What do they bury it for?
it didn't get buried. It just sort of ended up deep in the soil as it sort of does
Hide
that.
it from
sort of-
his her husband.
Yeah, that's what happened. She buried it underground, and then it ended up staying there for they reckon it was about 85 AD that this dildo,
Joking.
and it was carved out of wood, which is not recommended.
Splinters.
85 after Dick.
Yeah,
So,
620.
yeah, that's what they. Don't even talk to me about what
Hamish, you're
BC is.
very nice over there.
that just does a wooden
A wooden pecker,
does not sound
Yeah.
romantic or
and it's shaped slightly unusually, and it's only about 6.5 inches. So
I mean,
Size
only.
doesn't
Bloody hell,
matter.
what do you want, a baseball bat?
Bloody hell.
Crikey.
no,
What a
but
caveman club.
no, I just feel like if you're going to go to the trouble of carving one from wood, you would
You
make it.
said
Sort of,
bigger's not better.
no, I know that.
Is that where do you think the saying came? He had a
She's
Woody?
lying about this.
Ooh.
Goes back to 85 AD. He had a Woody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know that the term horny comes from
Historical.
literally it just turned like looking like a horn?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I looked it up and it was that.
We're very basic.
We
humans,
are. It
aren't
does
we?
what it says on the
Yeah.
tin. But yeah, they reckon they can't really say whether it was used because there's no like. It might have just been a sort of
No
ornament,
DNA on it.
but they reckon that if it was used for that, it would have been one of the most used ones in history because it would have been passed down from generation to generation. Because it's,
Oh, they're guessing. This is this.
this is
Might have been an animal.
No, it's
An animal might
An
have
heirloom. Pass the baton on.
what did you get in the will?
Yeah.
Can you
Lodge,
imagine?
you can have
thought
the
this was
dildo.
a
Oh, I got the
serious
bracelet.
segment.
I
Your
got Nan's
archaeology.
China set. Yeah.
You're making light
I
of it.
don't think
Making light of it.
I don't think you're paying the
Historical artifacts, and you're just laughing.
Oh, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Anyway, so they, that's what they think it is, and
Can they work out who it belongs to? What sort of tribe or?
they were Rome. It was during the Roman occupation of
Bloody
England.
Italians.
Yeah, so mate, checks out, Roo. But yeah, so I just sort of dropped that. It had to be early because obviously, but yeah, there you go. So even back then, men weren't satisfying women; they had to do it on their own.
Oh, that's what you've taken out of that.
Yeah.
Right.
It's Rudits and Loz. Triple M.
Triple M breakfast.
Thrown back in on the wing. Gawn slaps it towards goal, but time is going to beat them. Carlton survived the ultimate heart attack. And they make up for the sins of last Friday night.
Unbelievable finish last night. I got to say, Roo, sometimes just great players do some incredible things. Max Gawn's long kick for goal just before the final siren to try and get Melbourne up over the line was magnificent. But there were many, many highlights. Petrarca played well. Look, Carlton were great all night, weren't they? But Melbourne's comeback was magnificent.
Yeah, I think Carlton were great early. They couldn't do a thing wrong. Melbourne was slow early, and then Melbourne just ground their way back into the game and should have won the game, really. Had 61 inside 50s to 41, 21 scoring shots to 17. Couldn't get it across the line. There was a controversial tackle. Jacob Van Rooyen tackled Kemp, I think it was. Let's have a listen to this.
Ollie Hollands, Kemp's in huge trouble. Monster tackle. A dangerous tackle. Oh, I do not know about that.
No.
I reckon Kemp, that's a classic case of a player deliberately putting his head into the ground.
Poor decision by the umpire. It wasn't a dangerous tackle. They got a goal straight after it. They pulled it back. We've got to be careful with the game. I know we've got to be careful with concussion as well, but that was not a free kick. Well done to Carlton, though. They did play abnormally well, I thought, last night early.
Yeah. Can I just go back to yesterday's tips?
Melbourne will beat Carlton.
Melbourne will beat Carlton, the team that you said won't play finals.
They won't play finals.
Ooh, big call. I can't split this one, but I trust you. I'll go Melbourne. By a goal.
You trust me?
I do. By a goal.
Since when?
After 15 years.
Oh, come on. Right, that's the last time.
Yeah, sorry about that.
One
They
and
might
only
play
time.
finals and they might beat Melbourne.
Right. It's a fair backflip. Let's hear from Carlton coach Michael Voss.
It won't take away from the positives of the game for us. You know, we've been fighting, I reckon, for a good month. I think we've been in some good form. We've played against some really good sides and sort of felt like we probably haven't been able to get the wins on the board.
All right, they are playing really well. That was a good game last night. Now, let's move on to tonight. Port Adelaide travelled to Geelong. They've got to respond after the showdown. They've made 5 changes, Port Adelaide. Some of them are forced, but Aliir comes back in from concussion. Jeremy Finlayson back from suspension. Francis Evans, little Frankie Evans, the forward, is in as well.
Gets his chance.
Yeah, he does. Look, everyone will have their different opinions about the changes. Dylan Williams has been dropped. I reckon he's one lad that really has a crack, and I feel sorry for him. I wish he was playing, but I'm sure he'll fight his way back in. But he has a go. There's no doubt about that. Let's hear from Port coach Ken Hinkley.
Tom Hawkins equaling a record, and you can go through the list of names in that side, and there's always someone. Jeremy's a great player. We love the way they play, except when we have to play against them. So,
yep, they're a good side.
They're a silly chance.
A chance?
They can do what they did last year after the showdown and go and beat Sydney and Sydney. They're a chance, but they're also a chance to get flogged.
Yeah, right. Triple M Rocks Footy from 5:30 tonight. Now, your mob getting ready to take on Brisbane. 26-man squad, Sam Berry, Lockie Murphy, Chris Burgess named on an extended bench, Roo.
Well, they may even be unchanged because they've got no injuries. Who knows? We'll wait and see if one of those guys could force their way into the team. We know that Brisbane will be making some changes because Lincoln McCarthy, Darcy Gardner, they both ruptured their ACLs. And also Ainsworth has got concussion, and we know that Starcevic did his calf in the warm-up. So they got a few out, but they have not had any injuries for 5 years, Brisbane.
Yeah,
and
they're copping them now.
They've got a few at the moment.
All right, let's hear from Crows coach Matty Nix.
It can be a dangerous thing when you come up against a side that has a lot of injuries because you get a lot of players coming in that are hungry, that want to show want to show what they've got, and that's what we saw last week from Brisbane.
Yeah, that's a good grab there.
Beware of the wounded animal.
That's right. And just finally, Matilda's goalkeeper Lydia Williams has announced her long and decorated career will come to an end after the Paris Olympics. She's been in the side for nearly 2 decades, you know. Stalwart.
Wow. Is she?
Yeah, champion. That's our look at sport.
All thanks to Sports Card World, Region Arcade Rundle Mall. Speaking of sport, as Dit said tonight, Triple M's rocking footy, Cats v Powers, listening live from 5:30 right here, or on the Lister app. It's Roy Dits and Loz, the top 5 up next, Triple M.
New Hilux in stock with bonus $1,000 accessories at Peter Kittle Toyota.
Top 5 things we learnt this week on Rude Dits and Loz.
Number 5.
Lemo was on, and he learnt Dits hates Seinfeld.
Dits hates Seinfeld.
Never watched it.
And I...
What? You want me to tell you what else Dits hates? Ice cream and puppies. What's your favourite comedy, Dits? The movie Platoon?
No. Do yourself a favour. Go watch the Marx Brothers. Oh. There's some comedy.
The Marx
Benny
Brothers.
Hill.
Well, you couldn't find a reference from the 1800s?
No, there hasn't been anyone funny since then.
I don't know what they have to say. It makes no difference anyway. Whatever it is, I'm against it.
However, Ditz did get a text message of support.
I'm with you, Ditz. Marx Brothers, Abbott and Costello, Seinfeld, not funny. That's from Mark at Littlehampton.
Good on you, Mark.
He's on your team.
He's 92 years old.
Number 4.
Roo was up and about after Showdown last week, and we learnt someone made the grave mistake of giving him a whistle.
Think about Showdown 55.
Play on.
Who gave that man a whistle?
Take the whistle off
Get it off him.
Just whistle while you work.
Although the whistle did come in handy when Ditz and Loz started this snooze fest.
Word economy is what it's called.
Yeah,
I
word
once
economy.
had a radio boss
does.
say to me, your word economy's not very good. I went, what?
Your word. Who was that? Who said that to
Some
you?
idiot who no longer works in radio.
Oh, yeah, fair
In
enough.
other words, I was using too many words to say what I was trying to say.
Well, that's a bit because it's half a dozen. Is kind of not only is it's too many words, but you also have to halve a dozen. So you're doing an equation as well.
You
You're
don't
not
have to
just-
explain it. I'm with you.
So we need to get that whistle off.
I reckon you were umpiring last
Number 3.
We learnt the urinals at Parliament
night.
House
The urinals are too high.
are too high for Frank Pangello.
So
Frankie.
Frank's going to have to stand on a telephone book.
Little stool.
Trough is the best way to go, surely. I hate those individual things.
Nah, the splashback is disgusting with a trough.
Well, how
isn't
often
it?
do you go in and try and flop it out and have a...
Well, I don't have anything to flop out, but if I did,
How would you know?
well, you're right,
stand back
Dix. I
a
need
bit.
to not talk about it. But
Stay out of urinal chat, Loz.
You can help him out because the urinals are too high.
Yeah.
If someone could give him
what do you
lift
mean
up...
too high? Like
Hold him
how
up.
high?
Oh, he has to
how-
get on his tippy toes.
He
to get his
does,
wiener
he does.
up into the bowl.
Can't
You need to
just
be
aim
relaxed
up?
when you need to
Can't
relax.
you like rocket
What,
launch
shoot
those
it up
things
in the
around?
air?
Yeah, but
Like a missile strike?
We have reports of an unidentified flying object. It is a long, smooth shaft.
Number 2. Last week we learnt Loz was off to the Paracombe Medieval Fair.
surely it's only a one-day event.
It's a 2-day route.
Oh,
Blown out.
come
I'm not
on.
kidding. They had thousands and thousands of people come through.
That is
Get
balled
out.
up.
I don't like talking about the Paracombe Medieval Fair
Come on.
because you bully me about it.
We don't bully you.
A few moments later.
It's a good event.
So
and,
you're going in the Suzuki, not on your broom?
No.
The lady went to Thalong on Saturday, and Monday Doth told us all about it.
Be
So
more
how many
in-
freaks were there on the
Oh,
weekend?
do you want to know? 12,000 people came through. What? 12,000 people.
12,000?
There was jousting, there was sword fighting.
Who are these
food.
people doing jousting? And
I don't know. They
sword fighting
they
and
literally had metal helmets on. I couldn't see.
Don't.
Loz, Roo wants the name of the jousters.
Yeah, they had the full
stuff? No,
armour.
but like who
I
in
don't
everyday
know.
life jousts?
Not sure.
Whatever you call
I
it.
couldn't tell you, Roo.
Roo is on the same wavelength as the mum from the castle.
But they're jousting sticks. I mean, what would anyone want with jousting sticks?
Roo had a lot of questions.
The
What
luck of
food
mine-
do they have there?
I had a hot dog. I don't know where I had it.
I usually get my medieval hot dogs from the servo. Because the medieval fair is now so popular, we decided to put it in our quiz.
Loz's hometown Paracombe hosted what festival over the weekend? Had more than 12,000 attendees.
Music festival.
No. Margie, Tanunda, what was the festival in Loz's hometown over the weekend?
Oh, the
Come on, it's on the tip of your tongue.
Let's go to Chris in Craigmore. What was the festival hosted in Paracombe over the weekend?
was it Tasting Australia?
Oh my God, guys, I have no idea.
Lockie Clarence Gardens. What was the festival that Loz went to in her hometown?
Food and Wine Festival.
Come to ye oldie medieval fair, Paracombe's best kept secret. Number 1. This week we spoke to an intimacy expert.
Specialising in intimate relationships.
Okay.
Good morning, Wala.
Good morning, how are you?
And we learnt she went to high school with Roo.
She had to put up with a lot from the blokes that were in
no.
our age group. We didn't do very well at sex education at Wakery High School.
And yeah, just like high school, things got a little awkward.
So a man's body actually reacts a lot quicker. So, oh man, I feel uncomfortable talking about your Mark.
The top 5 things we learnt this week on Roo Dits and Loz.
Very funny.
Good week.
Very good week.
Yep, great
Well done,
week.
Sammy.
The top 5, all thanks to our friends at Peter Kittle. New Hilux in stock with bonus $1,000 accessories at Peter Kittle Toyota. It's Roo, Tits and Loss, Triple M.
Let's go, people. The clock is ticking. We're here for a good time, not a long time.
I think we got time for a little quickie.
Triple M's Quickie. One topic, 3 answers in 5 seconds. It's time for a Quickie with Loz.
Oh, it has jackpotted to $800.
This is exciting.
Yeah.
Fantastic opportunity from Angela from Gola East. Good morning, Angela.
Good morning, crew. How are
Are
we?
you nervous?
Yeah, shit myself.
Angela.
Keep it clean.
Come on,
Angie.
What's happening today, Angela?
On my way into work, I work as HR for an engineering company.
Well, you
Fantastic.
tell the boss if you win $800, you're having the day off, Ange. You all right?
I reckon he'd be all right with that.
If you're all right with a shouting
All right.
lunch, you'll be all square. All good.
All right. I'm nervous because
Yeah.
it's lose-lose for me. Either I give this money away and get told off by the boys,
No,
or
No, we'd
No,
like
this is
you to
good.
give it away.
okay,
$800
I
on
want
a
you to
Friday.
get this. All right.
I want Angela
We're
to
all
be
backing
happy.
you, love.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Angela, you've got 5 seconds. I need you to name 3 breeds of household cat.
Burmese, Siamese, Ginger, Paddy.
Oh, I don't think
Now,
ginger.
We might need to go to the
A ginger's a colour, isn't
Let's
it?
come back. Let's go to the break.
Oh,
Ginger
no,
cat.
We're coming back.
Is it a colour? We'll go to the.
We'll go back.
Go to the tapes.
We need technical, proper names here.
Goal review.
Not
Burmese
nicknames.
and Siamese, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go to the break.
All right.
Okay.
All right. We're going to have to keep Angela in suspense here.
Oh.
Back
She's
in
all right.
just a
Ange.
moment.
Right.
Your chance, Ange.
It's Roo, Tits and Loz.
Triple M breakfast.
Time for us to talk to this man
Is this
here.
called padding or
He
what?
played over 200 AFL games.
And
might
Jonas
have
kicks
gotten
the
away
goal,
with it.
second career goal in his 210 games.
He's the former Port Adelaide captain.
Big tackle. Jonas, captain's wrap-up.
Please welcome to Triple M Breakfast, Tom Jonas.
Tommy Jonas. In a moment, we'll talk about tonight's big game, Port Adelaide and Geelong. But in the meantime, Tommy, you went to KI last weekend.
Yeah, well, I doubled the goal tally. I bet one around the corner from 40 on the
What?
left in front of the
What?
home fans.
You're
so
kicking goals
Why couldn't you
over
do
there.
that when you were at Port Adelaide?
Is that your third
I didn't
career
get an
goal?
opportunity, did I?
Do you kick straight or you kick like Port last week with 5-18?
No, 2 straight. 2. One was a bit dubious, but we had the whole home goal umpire.
beautiful.
The boys, got it over the
Did you
line.
play up forward?
No, I was listed at centre-half back, and I wasn't that interested in that. So my brother was playing, so I told him, we're swapping. I'll go on ball, you go to centre-half back. He got best on ground, though. So.
Yeah.
Did he?
Did you make getting the best players?
Yeah, I might have snuck in. Just a sympathy vote, I reckon.
Beautiful. What's it like playing country footy, though? Good, you have fun?
Yeah, it was unreal. I absolutely loved it. So there was a bit of a backstory. I played at Wonks, so that's Western Districts on KI on the weekend. They got their whole club rooms burnt down in the fires in 2019. So it was the unveiling of the new clubs. They've been running out of, a barbecue and basically just a lean-to for the last 4 years.
And it's not just footy there, it's other sports as well.
You know what it's like in the country. It's a meeting place. It's where they all spend their entire weekend. They've all chipped in to get the place back up and running. And just hearing some of the stories from the people that have been involved and seeing what they've given up was incredible. The CEO of the AFL was there. Nick Hockley was there from cricket.
Wow.
Darren Chandler. It was a huge afternoon and perfect weather for it.
And
Great
you got
new
to show
facility.
off.
Unreal facility. It's the club in the scrub. It's in the absolute sticks, but great community and really flash facility as well.
They do listen over in KI over there, mate.
Yeah, they'll be on there. So I'm giving them a big pump up. But
Listener
no,
up.
we had an unreal weekend. Brought home a nice feed of Marin. You had some Marin.
Oh, love them.
Didn't notice you bringing an Esky.
No. Well, there's a couple of bottles of wine out there for
Oh.
you.
Kangaroo Island is an absolute cracking joint. If you love the countryside,
beautiful.
it's brilliant.
Yeah, you can have a beer at the Penishaw pub on the way through, and then usually the Pandana pub, and then you find yourself down
Was
in
this
middle.
before the game?
No. Tom's professional. The bloke he was in the car with had a
Yeah.
beer on the way down.
Yeah.
But no,
Who was driving?
Speaking of
Anyway.
professional, did have a bottle of red and a couple of beers, as I thought. You better get in the country spirit.
Yeah.
And then I thought I'd prepared well. Just as the game was about to start, the captain gave his pump up speech. I went to pull my mouth guard out of my sock. It'd been sitting in there for an hour or so, and I pulled out George's blue dummy.
Your lad's dummy.
You put the
dummy spitter.
Hang on. Did you play with it in?
No, a couple of times I had to put it in.
Dummy in your sock.
There's a few free kicks against, so I had to stick the dummy in.
You needed that late last year at the
Is that
Power.
true? Oh, that's incredible.
And what about after the game, like presentations? Did the club have a big night?
Yeah, it was huge. They had a band going on. It was going off. It was everyone from the western side of Kangaroo Island was there. It was a huge night. So
I tell you, the best part about going back and playing country food, not the best, but one of the best, is as soon as you finish, you're in the rooms, you're singing the song, and you're having a beer in the showers with the boys, or in the circle in the rooms. You miss that at AFL level, don't you?
Yeah, and I don't think I even realised that until the weekend. It was a great time. It's the whole family's there. It's
in the middle.
You got Oz kick starting at 8 a.m. and they're there through to 8 a.m. the next day. Some of them. So
it's the best day of the week, and you just look as a country kid. You just can't wait for Saturday.
Yeah, can't wait to get back there in a little while.
Tommy, now they lost the showdown last week. The Power. Let's go back and debrief that before we look at tonight's game. What do you think's going wrong with Port Adelaide at the moment?
Well, I don't know if it's indicative of all the games. It's just the showdown. The Crows have had the edge over us, and it comes down to probably just wanting it more and being able to get up for it. I mean, there's a bit of a pattern there in the big games, but that doesn't fit the Melbourne game that we lost. We
got to go back to the Collingwood game as well, though. Collingwood game into the showdown.
Collingwood at the G. Yeah, I don't know. There's a little bit of pattern there. It's something to do with the mental space and whether the club's continue or invested heavily enough or seen enough to start investing heavily in that space.
What do you mean?
Mental space.
Well, I mean, you
need to go on a camp.
There's no. Have you got any recommendations?
We're from Tiger. Anyway,
well, I mean, that's they can certainly play good footy when they want to, and they've done it consistently. But there becomes a point where that hasn't been able to be done consistently.
So when the backs are against the wall, they got no fight. Sometimes
it's not even backs against the wall. Sometimes it's
when they're challenged
from the beginning. It's being able to bounce out of the blocks and start well and hold on. So
is there a lack of leadership there? Or
no, I don't think so.
Is there not enough depth in the leadership space? Is there not enough people that want to jump on the back of the leaders?
It might be just looking at doing something differently in the mental space. Like they've invested in the mindset coach and a few other bits and pieces, but sometimes you got to look outside the square.
Yep. Okay.
The kicking's been inaccurate. I would argue that the Crows put them under a lot of pressure, though. I think a lot of shots were missed because of pressure. It wasn't like set shots.
There were a lot of gettable ones.
But is it true about a kicking coach out of the UK, or is that a myth?
Yeah, they've spent some time in that space, and I think it's sort of been a fly-in, fly-out thing, so not here permanently, but it's almost like one of those things, the more you think about it and talk about it, the worse
and
it
they've done a stack of it. That's what they say. It's unfair what's happening on field because they've done so much of it. Ditz will say, and I would back him up on that, it's how you're doing it away from the game day to make sure it flows on.
But we've been talking
they would
about,
be doing that right.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been talking about this for a decade.
Experience.
We're not going back to the you just relaxing and having 10 set shots with no one standing the mark. There's pressured scenarios. There's people on the mark. There's routines. I think it'll click.
And it wasn't Crows might have put pressure on, but prior to that, so there's 7 other games this year. They've been 17th for set shot accuracy.
Fair enough.
It can't be happening every week.
Now, high risk of sounding insane here. I shouldn't even talk. But
new.
has anyone ever in an AFL side ever employed like a hypnotist to come in and sort of help people with like goal kicking and meditation to get out of their own heads? Because a lot of people use it for things like anything that makes them nervous.
Give up smoking.
Heights,
Ciggies,
smoking. I did it for heights. It was amazing. And it works, but it's a little bit,
kooky.
la-di-da, a little bit kooky.
Yeah,
but is that the kind of thing that might happen in a situation where people keep getting the yips and it keeps getting worse and worse?
We had a hypnotist in from the Fringe one time. That was
Really?
pretty funny.
Tell us
Isaac
about
Lomond,
it.
he did.
Come on, keep going. Tell us.
No, they hypnotised about 4 blokes, and I think you got to sort
Was
of
this
believe
for
in
comedy or was this for
this is a
sports
comedy.
psychology?
But there's a serious version of it as well.
Yeah.
They
No wonder we're losing games.
This is heading into collective minds.
They hypnotised Chatty Wingard. There's a video somewhere.
Wingard.
And they told
now
him...
he's not at the club.
We've sent him to Hawthorn.
They told him the ball was so heavy he couldn't pick it up off the ground. And so he's like,
Is that why he ran
bending
over
down,
it all the time?
and he's got 2 hands on the ball and his foot, and he's trying to pick the thing up. And then they told him he was getting traded to the Crows, and he started crying.
Oh, come on. He started crying when he couldn't get up the hill in New Zealand.
Oh, my God.
No, but you know what? I reckon the future, he won't like me saying this, John Butcher might have had a go at a psychologist at some point.
He kicked it to himself.
Yeah, I mentored him.
Yeah, that was the problem. Yeah.
So-
No psychologist can
Now,
save you
tonight
from
in
that.
Geelong, let's talk some serious footy. Some 5 changes. Now, some of them are
What, were we
forced.
just joking, were we?
Yeah, I was very serious about that.
on.
God.
I liked it.
You know, the Crows win a game or two, Roo's up and about. He's all
Oh, don't try and deflect it.
Anyway, tonight, a couple of changes. Look, I feel for Dylan Williams. I actually think he's a young lad that has a go, and he's got nice skills. He delivers the ball well. Is he unlucky?
Oh, not necessarily. I'm with you. I really rate Dill. I think he's going to be a good player for the footy club, but he's probably a little bit out of condition. He wasn't covering the ground well at Samful level and getting a heap of it. And then I think that was probably exposed to AFL level as well, so he's going to have to find a way to get back to his best
So he's not
match,
fit enough.
best match conditioning.
They have got the best small forwards in the comp too.
Okay.
Grind
You think
Myers, Tyson Stengel,
Yeah.
Brad Close.
But no, I like him a lot. So.
I'm glad to see Josh Sin getting a game.
Sinny, I
Very
think,
exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. He needs to play more footy. It's just been a matter of getting his body right and getting a few games under the belt, and now he's getting an opportunity. So that'll be great to see.
Is
And then,
Finlayson out of favour down at Port Adelaide?
oh, he's playing this week, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got a game this week. But
Nah,
he
I
didn't get a game last week. He got dropped in the finals last year.
Yeah, I think he'd be
you
the
put
first.
Charlie Dixon in the ruck when his body can't handle it. At his, instead of playing Finlayson, so
Probably first to admit he hasn't been in the best nick. And then he obviously had that set. He had
Got
that,
suspended.
Got
Yeah.
suspended. So I think it was just sort of how things roll. He
All
went
right.
for the pressure over Jez last week. Didn't pay off.
So a general question to Port fans listening, should they keep the faith? From what they saw against Collingwood and the showdown, it wasn't good. Now they've got to go to Geelong and play basically the top side. What can you say to Port fans at the moment?
Absolutely, got to keep the faith.
Abracadabra.
I know we're a fickle bunch, but we always keep the faith. We always stick with our team. So,
what did you do when you went to Sydney last year after the loss and you knocked them off? You must have had a meeting after the bad showdown loss last year, and then you went to Sydney and knocked them off.
Yeah,
Why can't you do that tonight?
I'm sure there would have been some stern conversations this week, but I think if you win the flag, no one remembers losing a showdown.
Nah, that's right.
So win the flag.
Well, that's what we're here to do.
All right. I love it.
Yeah,
Good on you,
stop,
Tommy.
Stop.
Thanks for coming in,
Thanks,
Tom. There he is,
Tommy.
Tom Jonas.
Rudites and lots.
Did everyone have a shower this morning before they came into work?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 3 from 3. Hamish?
No,
Yeah, all right.
don't shower in the morning.
Okay,
You're a
three,
nighttime
three out of
shower.
4. Uncle Haji, Abu Haji was this fella's name, died 94 years of age last week in a little village in Iran. Hadn't showered for 60 years, right? Now, they said in the end his body was covered in soot and pus.
Don't.
Oh, the
Right?
soot
It was
bit I
disgusting.
can't
I
cop.
saw-
I can't cop the
Saw
pus.
photos of him. He was unshaven all these years. He was filthy. The dirt on him was an inch thick. It was
you think
unbelievable.
it's
And
congealed.
Anyway, all of the villagers in this place kept saying, "For God's sake, have a bath with you." Like, please. Like, I have to
What's
mix
his
with
name
him.
again?
Abu Haji.
Come on, Haji.
Yeah.
Have
So
a
for
wash.
60 years now, anyway, in the end, he relented. He had a bath and he died.
Yeah.
It killed him.
Killed him.
It's true. He died.
The wash killed him.
Turned out to be
His
a
body
bad
couldn't
move.
cope without the germs.
What's the longest you think you've ever gone without a bath or a shower, Roo?
Oh, up the river and that. But you're in the river or you're in the ocean for probably 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, I'm
maybe.
about the same. Staying over in the caravan park at Stansbury, you just jump in the ocean quickly.
But
have a
never like around the house. Not
No.
showers.
Loz?
Yeah.
Look, there was a leg of Europe, I think, where we were driving around in a car
Oh.
and we weren't staying in hostels. We were
Couldn't
sort of
find
like
space.
parking in like shopping centre car parks and sleeping. And what we would do is we would go into service stations and sort of like go into the sink and have a sort of wash there. But I reckon it was about a week and a half.
Oh,
and then
my
when we
God.
finally got into a hostel,
Week and a half, Loz.
it was
How many of you in this car?
3 girls.
Oh.
We were trying our best, but it was pretty gross.
Right.
And I remember when we finally had a shower. I mean, it's like eating after being starved. You know, when you finally get in that
Good
shower.
feeling.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, I would never do it again. It's
All right,
awful.
how long have you gone without a bath or a shower? And tell us why. Salisbury East, Dave, how long?
Yeah, mate, we used to go up the river every Easter on this camp on the Crown land, probably about 4 days. But the worst part is you jump in the river with a cake of soap, What happens, Roo? The yabbies are nipping at you.
Oh, they love a bit of whiff. The whiffier the meat. No, they do like...
So you smell like a dead fish.
Yeah, exactly right. Oh, my God. Even though they're vegetarians, they eat you to get...
Are they vegetarian?
Yeah, they eat you to get rid of it because the smell is just annoying the hell out of them.
Wow.
Really?
Yes, that's right.
That's like me with chocolate. It just annoys me having it in the cupboard. Just eat it to get rid of it, really.
Let's go to Blakeview. Andrew, how long not had a shower?
Hey, about 9 days, and me and my dad did the overland track in Tasmania a few years ago.
9 days.
Yeah.
Nine
How
days.
whiffy were you?
Oh, yeah, no, a little bit smelly, mate.
Did you get used to it?
That day 6, we stopped by this lake. Mind you, we're in Tasmania, so it's freezing.
Bit chilly.
Yeah, no, we all jumped in the lake and had a swim. So, yeah, it wasn't too bad. But, by the time we got there, the shower was great.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Let's head down to West Beach. G'day, Dale. How long you been without a shower or a bath?
Hey, team. It would have been a couple of weeks easily.
What? Where were you?
So I was a submariner in the Navy.
Yeah.
Obviously, showering on a submarine creates grey water. Grey water fills tanks, and then tanks need to be pumped, and pumping makes noise, and submarines don't make noise. So unless you absolutely need to shower, you don't. The only guys who would have showered would have been cooks and stewards.
Jeez.
How do you get, like, if you fart or stink in a submarine, it's nowhere to hide,
Can't
is
open
it?
the window.
Well, you tend to get used to it, but then once you pull in and you hop off and then hop back on, yeah, you notice it pretty well. And once you go home to the missus after you've been at sea for a couple of weeks, she definitely tells you about it.
Yeah. Did you not shower before you saw her? I'd be stopping in at the gym or something. Hang on, I just want to ask, are there baby wipes? Like, is there any attempt, do you wear deodorant? Is there any attempt to keep clean?
Yeah, roll-on deodorant or wet wipes.
Yeah.
Wet wipes or a flannel in the sink. That's about it.
Yeah. So why not the normal spray deodorant? You don't want to blow it up, I suppose.
Aerosols. Yeah.
Aerosols. Let's head to Golden Grove. G'day, Aaron. How long you been without a shower or a bath?
Hello. Well, so I recently got this amazing new deodorant, right? It's pretty good. It blocks everything. And while you guys were talking about not showering, I realised it's been 3 weeks.
Oh,
3 weeks?
Mate,
Are you a normal person in a normal house?
Are you living with other people or?
I am, yes. Yeah.
What's wrong with
mum.
you?
With your mum?
Yeah.
How old are you?
18.
18.
Oh, why haven't you had a shower for 3 weeks? Are you that lazy? Have you just been playing games?
No, it's not late. Normally I shower every day.
So why haven't you?
I've been wearing this deodorant and I just haven't smelled that I'm smelling.
What's it called?
Route 33.
It's blue. It's roll up.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
That narrows it down.
I think it's called Speed Stick, but I can't remember.
Have you been that busy, Aaron, that you haven't even
bloody
had
miracle
time
stick.
for, or you haven't needed it?
No,
or-
I
It's a
just
magic
haven't realised I need one.
What has your mum said to you?
Has she said anything?
Mum said no. Mum hasn't even clicked that you.
Is your hair greasy? You can't use Speed Stick on your hair.
No, I don't get greasy hair. I'm just that amazing.
Oh, all right. Get rid of him. I can't. I can smell him from here.
You want to date him, don't you?
No, yeah, usually that usually would be my type, bit young. But
Was he really 18?
he sounds older than 18. I don't know. There's some. I'm a bit confused.
All right,
I'm not rewarding him.
No, we can't give him the prize. I mean, no.
I found
can't.
Dale interesting in the submarine.
Yeah.
I reckon that's an interview one day. I'd love
Serving-
to ask 100
serving king and
questions
country,
to
yeah.
people that are in a submarine.
Yeah.
Interesting.
What happens in there?
What was your first question?
I don't know. I've got hundreds.
So many.
Give me one.
Claustrophobia.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do
Do
you do
they-
for
Yeah,
fun?
good call.
Do they have severe vitamin D deficiencies?
Yeah.
Because they never see the sun.
And the smell. Sure, it
Yeah.
has to stink in there.
Do they know when it's night or day?
Good question. See?
We're up to
Looking
3.
at looking at your watch.
Right, we're going to get Dale on next week and ask about the
All right.
life,
You debunked
life of a
that one.
submariner.
Love that. Well, we're going to
Is that
send.
all right, Ru?
Yeah, I think I'm on board with that. Yep, cool.
We've got a prize for him. Let's give him Jim
How do
Jeffries
they-
tickets.
We've given him.
How do
Well,
submarines go up and down?
There you go.
What do you mean?
Pressure.
How do they descend and ascend?
Yeah.
They when you go in a pool and you push your arms up or down. I'm
Right.
sure they have some sort of
you
propeller
think?
system.
All right, hey, beer and barbecue fest or Jim Jeffries, whatever.
Let
he
him
wants.
decide.
All right, good stuff.
It's a loss. Triple M.
Triple M breakfast.
So, vultures picking away at a dead carcass.
That was the
Yeah.
hook for this segment.
Yeah,
and
that
I'm
was the
very
hook.
Tell
nervous.
us more. Tell us
Look,
more.
Basically, Victoria's budget come out a few days ago, and they are in debt,
Yep.
too much debt.
Yep.
Dan Andrews has jumped ship of a sinking ship and left them in a bad position where I think the net debt for every person living in Victoria, man, woman and child, is 70,000 per person. Right. There's 5.9 or 6.9 million Victorians.
Okay.
Right, it's I think they're paying 26 million a day in interest on their debt. All right, so they have had to make serious budget cuts. They're not new mental health facilities, which we know are absolutely crucial,
essential,
all over Australia at the
Yeah.
moment. Indefinitely none
Gone.
new ones. The new hospital
Gone.
not delayed. Out,
Won't be
not
built.
happening.
Yeah.
Other big projects cut. Blah 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 blah
Shivers.
blah. But they've also going to cut tourism expenditure and all of that sort of stuff. Which,
So what are they going to be spending money on? Bread and water,
hang
pretty
on a
much.
minute. And then they've also cut the sporting capital of the world is what Victoria is known for.
Yep.
They are cutting sporting events as well. So they're not going to try and buy these sporting events in. Now, our situation here in South Australia is a little bit better than Victoria, I think. I'm pretty sure. And we've got opportunities, I think, to be able to see. I wouldn't mind something out of Victoria at the moment.
So you're saying
So
we
you've
should...
got to look at all of a sudden spending, don't you, straight away on major events. So
events that stack up and are
therefore,
financially
would
smart.
we, and I'm quite seriously, would we go straight away and say we'll have the Formula One back? We'll take
I'm
it
not
off
sure
your
if
hands.
they're cutting the Formula One Grand Prix. You need to find out which ones they're
But it's
cutting.
worth offering, though, because they want to save money. That would cost them money to put on.
Well, it might be net beneficial for them. I think they'll be, there'll be potentially, look, in a perfect world, the Grand Prix would be
Australian
the number
Open
one
tennis
big
is a
one.
big event.
Have we got the facility? I don't want
We
to have
haven't.
to. We don't want to have to go and spend a fortune in facilities. I don't think we could run the Australian Open.
No, we
here.
couldn't.
No.
We couldn't. But I think we
But
could do the Grand Prix.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. We've done it before. So I don't know whether it's the Grand Prix. I don't know whether it's the medieval fair next
Yeah,
year or what it is.
Hurricane,
But
look out.
Yeah.
whatever it is, but there's got to be opportunities there because Melbourne have sporting events all the time.
Yeah.
And they're going to make cutbacks.
But even with the tourism part of it, Loz and Roo, I read an article this morning. They won't be advertising worldwide, like come visit Victoria like they used to. That opens up an opportunity for us
That's why
as
you
well.
do
to
sporting
fill,
events.
Yeah, to fill that void, we can spend.
So Live Golf, I had mates that were in America ringing and talking about it, ringing a mate of mine who's an American saying, how's it going down there for the Live Golf?
Yeah.
All that sort of stuff. It's already happening in businesses. There's businesses shutting down in Melbourne because they're not getting supported. I think Sealy was one of them I read just recently that are shifting over to Adelaide. So Steve, is it Steve Price, is his name?
Yeah, the radio man.
He said he wants to get out of
He wants
Melbourne
to come
and
back
move
and
to
live here.
Adelaide.
Yep.
Oh, well.
So it's a basket case.
Maybe we don't.
No.
We're not that
We don't
desperate.
want everything.
So what we want Malinaus to go over to the estate sale and sort of start picking
Rummage
up.
through the bins.
Yeah.
He can turn into a crow and pick over a dead cat.
There you go.
There you go. All right. Beautiful.
where
We're not
it
far
was.
away from Triple M Farmer joining us.
Straight out of Stansbury, it's Timmy Vince, the Triple M farmer.
For Centurion Steel, a farmer's friend. From fencing and sheds to rainwater tanks. Centurion.com.au.
I have a look at the weather outside, ladies and gentlemen.
unbelievable. It's beautiful.
22
Stunning.
and hot. The farmers will be bloody whinging. They can't sow their crops. We better get the Triple M Farmer on. Timmy, what the hell is happening out there?
No, mate, this is normal. This is why I can't always buy you a pint.
Oh, you're not whinging
Not that
again,
old
are you?
chestnut. You got to be joking.
No, well, you can't have the good weather and the money that goes with a wet winter.
Yeah.
Now, do you count the days? Do we know how many days it is since we've had a drop of rain or not?
I reckon it's sort of getting close to 100.
Jeez.
And what about forecast? Who do you trust? Who do you look at to see when it's going to rain next?
We generally look out to the west, and if there's a big black cloud coming,
Right.
Do you do a rain dance sometimes, Tim? Do you get out in your jocks and sort of get,
No.
Try and summon
you
it.
don't get that desperate?
I have been caught out in my jocks, but not for rain.
Well, it's a good excuse. I was doing a rain dance.
That's right.
Yeah, well, I used
Officer.
that.
You used it. You've done that before.
Yeah, I used that. I said, well, It's not raining. We've got to try something.
Oh, well, let's hope we can get some rain for the farmers anyway. I thought you might want to ask Ditz what's going on with Port Adelaide.
He's already done that.
No, I heard the other day they're looking to get a team in the second side. So seconds. Is that your A grade? Or
Oh, yeah, right.
There we go.
I went and saw him the other day, Loz, and he had his iPad in front of him. I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Oh, I'm trying to find some Port Adelaide highlights." He said,
Oh, no.
Oh, they should win down at Geelong, though, Timmy, shouldn't they?
Oh, well, it's not hard to win there. Ask us easy. He won the last one about 1927. And with a left footer. On the boundary.
That was it. Yeah.
No, that'd be a walk-up start. Ditz is probably back to maybe Ditz.
Yeah, definitely. I'm confident.
Get a few dollars on it.
Right
You
behind
never
him.
know.
Yeah,
Oh,
no
yeah.
worries.
Eventually, they
Trust
will
them.
win one there at Geelong.
Eventually, yeah.
Eventually, yeah.
One day.
I don't know that we'll see it, but
No.
you never know.
No, not in
Right.
our time. No.
So I'll have to catch up with you guys this week while I'm down and just see that you're doing everything right.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
all right.
we always
No,
like
lock it
some
in.
tips from you.
Lock it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
No, we live in a pretty dry country. It's a desert. And if you're in a good area, you're not panicking yet anyway. Like, we're good. We're still good.
Well, when does it start to get quite seriously?
Now.
When would it get? So you can start panicking now, can you?
Panicking now.
Yesterday or tomorrow.
Yesterday or tomorrow. Very shortly.
We're getting close to panic. But, no, we're good at the minute. And do you know what makes it even better?
What?
I've retired, so it's about half as important as it used to be.
Well,
So
someone,
you got
someone
running-
else's problem.
Who's
there.
running your farm now?
Stephen Hoare, big munger, and I want it to be wet for him because
Yeah.
you know the old story. If he's got no money, how's he going to pay me?
That's right.
Yeah,
Can't pay
so
the rent.
you actually might have to do a rain dance, Timmy, so you get your rent. So
Once I get home, there could be a few rain dances.
All right. How are the CMS Crows looking? The footy side over there.
Yeah, they're good. I don't think they've dropped one yet.
Right.
So they're
Cricket,
in strange ground.
footy.
Yeah.
just keep winning over
Dominant.
there. All right, Timmy.
Good on
well,
you, Tim.
We won't panic about the drought. Well,
Don't
actually, we
panic
will.
yet.
We'll start panicking
Yeah.
about it
All
now.
right.
In about 24
I can
hours.
keep you posted, but I don't think there's no rain on the horizon for 2 or 3 weeks either.
No, there's not.
It's we're in a good area. We're not. It's not like we live in.
Wakefield.
Well, buy some bloody
No.
beer then.
Yeah.
Well, it's not that good.
All right, mate. Put that
Righto.
Range Rover back under the carport.
Yeah, get her in out the sun.
Yeah, sorry,
Is your-
Serena.
is
All right,
your Rolex
Timmy Vince, the
waterproof?
Triple
There
M
is.
farmer.
It's rated something.
See you, boys. See you.
Yeah.
The 2024 Sportsbet Adelaide Racing Carnival. $1 million prize money, big win atmosphere. This Saturday, May 11 at Morfordville. On Triple M Breakfast with Roo, Ditz and Loz.
I need the tip.
Get it straight from the horse's mouth.
I'm Mr. Red.
It's time for Roo's Tip of the Week.
Second, third, second.
Yeah, we've had enough
on.
of that. We've had enough of that.
This is ridiculous.
Exhausting.
It is exhausting, and what is exhausting is waiting for race 9 to have a bet. I did that last week. I'm doing it again today.
No.
God, you have to be patient. Adelaide race 9. There's a horse here, I reckon, had a great run last start, and I think it could do it again. It'll get back again, so a bit like last week, and I reckon it'll run down the outside. It's up in distance, which I think is a bonus. Race 9, number 14, Sachem, I think is the way you pronounce it. Todd Panel's a good rider. Loz, I reckon you can have $2 on the nose.
$2.
Race 9, number 14.
All right.
All right, it's paying about $4.
Big day tomorrow, $1
$5.
million race again. The Goodwood down at Morfordville.
Yeah.
I went last Saturday. It was a
Fantastic
great
race
day. It'll be magnificent. Good weather again. But yeah, Goodwood, it's the biggest race day of the year for Adelaide.
Port can't win, can they, tonight?
Oh, they can. I like some of the ins. Let's have a go.
All right, I'm going for Geelong, and I'm going for the Crows, and I'm going for race 9, number 14. So
There you go. Roo's tip, all thanks to the 2024 Sportsbet Adelaide Racing Carnival. $1 million prize money. Big win atmosphere tomorrow, May 11th at Morfordville.
Yeah. What's on the weekend, Loz?
Gonna go have a drink with Alessia before she leaves for London.
Oh,
Our
nice.
lovely producer who's moving to London, so gonna catch
you're
up
going to
with
give
her.
her a few tips?
Yeah, I'll give her some tips. Yeah, don't worry. Be like Rue's tip, but
You
Loz's
told us
tip.
this morning you slept in a car and didn't bathe for about 2 weeks.
When I was
Is that what you're
living
gonna-
overseas, yeah, look.
Are they the sort of things you'll pass on?
No, I think I might leave that out.
You washed in a sink in a petrol station.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look,
No,
I mean,
good. Yeah.
got through it.
Alessia, you look forward to that.
Have a great weekend, everyone. We'll catch you on Monday.
It's Triple M breakfast.
2 grand prize homes at the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery. HomeLottery.com.au.